So last week's episode of One Piece was all about Carrot's Sulan mode, her Moonlight transformation. This week was all about Big Mom's new mode or fire mode. We start off with the way it ended last week with Luffy and Katakuri in the mirror world. Obviously the first minute and a half was rehash of what we saw with Luffy trying to use Future Sight, getting nailed by Power Mochi into the wall. He attempts to use Gear Thrower, Giant Bazooka, doesn't work. Katakuri uses Power Mochi. Then Luffy tries to use Giant Rifle, that didn't work either. Luffy just getting tagged is pretty much a rehash of what happened at the beginning stages of this fight, the way it started with Katakuri dominating Luffy. So obviously he still hasn't gained enough Haki, in my opinion, to go up against Katakuri yet. So we segue over to where the Sunny is, and we're going to find out there's more concerns when it comes to Big Mom and her condition. It takes us half of the episode, the second half of the episode, to see Carrot and Brook put in the work. But Nami and Chopper like trying to defend the Sunny while going in the current direction of the fleet that Daifuku's in. Obviously, Carrot's taking care of that along with Brook. So we see Big Mom and actually getting weaker, and Perospero kind of acknowledges what we kind of pans that Big Mom is having is like taking its effect. She hasn't eaten in 8 hours, so obviously she's becoming skinnier, and it appears at the first glance she's becoming weaker. That is until the end of this episode. But can she last until we get to Coco Island, until she gets the wedding cake? So there's all those question marks about Big Mom. Then we say, speaking of the wedding cake, we go over to where Capone and the Fire Tank Pirates are with Sanji, Pudding, and Chiffon. And Capone just saying, like, we got a barrel of poison, let's put it inside the cake so we can kill Big Mom. And Sanji immediately kicks that barrel into the sea. He breaks it. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. It will damage my pride as a cook. My pride as a cook is to cook for people so that they can eat. Then you can do your business. So that's where Sanji's pride lies as a cook. So he's there to feed and make sure that she's satisfied, even if it is Big Mom and an emperor. And what Capone says makes absolute sense, because even if you do succeed and she just enjoyed the cake, she's still not going to let you guys go. Like, she's been satisfied all over the world from eating, but she hasn't eaten yet. So there's no guarantee she's going to let you off the hook. And then Sanji's like, no, I don't care. And then Pudding actually faints by this. So obviously the female Sanji in her is actually taken over again. Then she found the cream to Capone. He faints and he's like, I can die because I'm in heaven because of this cream. Everybody's thinking that Sanji actually poisoned him, so that tried to look like it was going to shoot Sanji. It's like, no, maybe this cake could work after all, and analyze the cake. And it couldn't come at a more appropriate time, considering the way next episode is looking to play out. So we shift over to where Carrot is doing, and obviously it's still taking the Elm's wheels apart, taking care of the fleet of Daifuku, but she's obviously becoming weaker as time goes on. She can't keep this up. It drains her life force. Brook goes by sea. He tries to lend a hand, which he does, but he's able to put people asleep with music. So obviously, the less that Carrot has to worry about, the easier it is on her when it comes to not as much strain. She still goes for the Elm's wheels, and she's able to dodge an attack from the genie again, even in a weakened state. So that was impressive. I can't wait to see what the other minks can do in their Sulan forms. Like, holy crap, can you imagine Nekomamushi into a giant furball kitten going nuts on Wano or Inuyasha and just wrecking havoc all over the place? Like, that's going to be epic. So Carrot just gave us more of an insight as to what they can do. But obviously she's getting weaker. She goes to the last Elm's wheel on the fleet. She gets drained, and Daifuku came in with the genie. It was about to deliver an attack to Carrot. In comes Brook for the save. They retreat and they go back to the Sunny. And I believe that ship, this is the last one that's destroyed. You got Perospero there saying, "Oh, the Daifuku being useless." Wow. So I guess Daifuku took the position of Mont d'Or as being the useless when it comes to the Big Mom Pirates. So there you go. So either way, back to the Sunny. They're getting praised. Nami's hooking Carrot in one of the cutest scenes of the episode. But she's like, "Oh, you did great. You was amazing out there. You protected the Sunny. Because of you, we got some options now." And she's like, "Oh, get some rest." And she reveals that she'll revert back to her current state if she stops looking at the moon. She has to put either sunglasses or a hat over her eyes. So that's interesting. Broken can't have a cute moments like that. I can only use my abilities of music to put them to sleep, but you was able to take care of them no problem. So that's the rest. Big Mom is starting, obviously, hunger cravings. We actually see a random shot of like Prometheus and Zeus on their way, and that was a big plot point because obviously Big Mom was asking for Zeus and Prometheus. They weren't responding until this point where she sensed that where they were coming. She immediately jumps, and one of the most agile things I think I've seen of a Big Mom yet. And it's like, and even Periscope and everybody else is shocked by this. Wait, how could she become so agile? She's a lot skinnier now, so she isn't weaker by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the condition of her hunger pangs is like taking over. So they do get word about the wedding cake on the way from Pudding, but what they find out is they're on Capone's ship, and immediately Periscope's like, we can't rely on this cake because they'll end up doing something bad to it. So they're stuck at they're between a rock and a hard place because it's going to be bad news for everyone, not just Straw Hats. So that's cool. She calls for Prometheus, and she merges Prometheus with her hair in fire mode. Beastly looking, obviously. That was cool. And I love how you see the face of Prometheus right in the hair of Big Mom. That was one of the, obviously, the moment I was waiting for. She died immediately. It's like, Mugiwara, come on out, boy. I'm here to kick your ass. Obviously, we know where Luffy is, so obviously that's going to be a problem since he has Katakuri to worry about. But Straw Hats have Big Mom to worry about, and everybody's freaking out because, uh-oh, she's literally on the Sunny. She destroys part of the ship. So it's not going to go well. I mean, it could be RIP for the Sunny, and even Jinbei says we may have to abandon ship, the Sunny, if the worst comes to the worst. And everyone's like, no. And I can listen, not really a spoiler, but this is not going to happen because how the hell are they going to get to Wano? So yeah, so something has to happen. But either way, Big Mom's on the ship. Everybody's freaking out. She's about to tear things apart. While this is going on, it's like, no, something's going to be destroyed if we don't do something. Obviously, what are you going to do with the Yonko? But and it's obviously she's not weak by any stretch of the imagination. And even Daifuku, Smoothie, and Periscope are surprised by her new form. Like, Periscope have never seen her this agile, and they've never seen her move like this. Nor have they seen it in this state. So this is interesting, like what she could do in this mode. But technically, I think the only person who could do something right now is Jinbei. But he may do something. Yeah, it's not looking good for those on the Sunny right now. Carrot's passed out. She can't do anything. From the opening that we get from Superpowers Open 21, I guess Chopper's going to be the only one to do something next because that's pretty much foreshadowed. In that state, the Big Mom was actually going to clash with Chopper. So finally end the episode back in the mirror world with the way it started, with Luffy getting pummeled with Power Mochi. He's not able to do much. And then he tries to use Future Sight Observation Haki by the end of this chapter. He's obviously attempting Future Sight. And from Rayleigh, he's like, oh, Haki can only blossom when you encounter tough opponents, such as Katakuri. Only then will you become stronger. There's only so much you can train your Haki. So I wonder if that's what happened with Katakuri at some point, where he had his Haki at some point, Observation Haki, but it was stated in his introduction, like he trained his Haki, like, so maybe way down the road, like he attained Future Sight, but fighting strong opponents, like that would make sense. So Haki can only blossom when you fight tough opponents. Obviously, Katakuri beats the criteria. Decide to see what Luffy's going to do next. He closes his eyes. He's going to attempt Future Sight again, which is going to be a trope of the second round of the fight. Obviously, now the animation for next week's episode looks on point. Like, you've got on one hand, you got Luffy versus Katakuri in the mirror world. On the other, you've got Big Mom tearing the hell out of the Sunny. They're trying to do something. What they're going to do, I don't know. I did find it cool that Chopper and Nami actually did the work. Like, they weren't just standing around. Nami uses to climb the clouds to like shock a few of the fodder, and Chopper actually sending a few cannonballs back in the picture. But they're gonna have to do something pretty damn epic. And remember, she doesn't have Zeus to use this time around, so it's gonna be lit next week. So I can't wait for that. That's it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Like this review if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Bye.